So let's get down to business, and we start with the exclusive interview that took place in San Francisco between Elon Musk and our technology correspondent James Clayton. It is one of his first interviews since he bought Twitter for $44 billion. He defended his decision to lay off a massive number of staff, saying that Twitter only had 4 months to live unless drastic measures were taken.
In rough numbers, revenue dropped from $4.5 billion to $3 billion, and expenses went from $4.5 billion to $6 billion, creating a $3 billion negative cash flow situation, and Twitter having $1 billion in the bank. That's 4 months to live. So unless drastic action was taken immediately, this company is going to die and be owned by the banks.
Let's talk about that drastic action, because almost immediately you sacked a lot of Twitter workers. And I spoke to them. It was very easy to speak to them when it happened. And the way they said, pretty much everyone said, is that it felt quite haphazard.
It was.
And it felt a little bit uncaring. I
wouldn't say uncaring. The issue is like the company's either going to go bankrupt, or if we do not cut costs immediately, this is not a caring, uncaring situation. It's like if the whole ship sinks, then nobody's got a job.
Right.
Yeah.
But a lot of people just lost their jobs like that, and they weren't. They didn't even know they'd lost their jobs off, and they were just frozen out of their accounts.
What would you do?
Well, you might want to give someone some notice. I mean, you might. By the way, I'm not running Twitter, but this is the criticism, and this is what staff members say. A little bit of notice, No,
I understand. If you have 4 months to live, 120 days. In 120 days, you're dead. So what do you want to do?
How much are you worth?
I don't know.
But we're talking about around the $200 billion mark. I mean, it's not quite. You're framing it in a way that it had a few months to live. You're quite a rich man.
I sold a lot of Tesla stock to close this deal. I did not want to sell the Tesla stock.
In what was quite a lengthy interview, Elon Musk also said he is confident that the social media platform Twitter will become profitable again and advertisers will return. Let's have a listen to this.
In terms of advertising, obviously Twitter's not a private company anymore, so we don't really know how it's all going. Have all the advertisers come back?
Not all, but most.
And
you can see it for yourself on Twitter, even in the For You feed.
Right.
I mean, in the
following feed.
Don't use For You because it sucks.
Right.
Filled with hate speech, I'm told.
That's not what I said.
Okay, fine. Well, why don't you use For You? What's wrong with it?
How is it going? Is Twitter in profit now?
No, Twitter is rough. I'd say we're roughly break even at this point.
And I think you've said before you see a world where you could be in profit. Is there a timeline on that, do you think? I mean,
depending on how things go, if current trends continue, I think we could be profitable, I'd say, to be more precise, we could be cash flow positive this quarter if things keep going well.
This quarter, as soon as that?
Possibly, yeah.
Wow. And do you have a message for the advertisers? I mean, can you say which advertisers haven't come back?
I think almost all of them have either come back or said they're going to come back. There are very few exceptions.
Can you say any of the exceptions?
I actually don't know of anyone who said definitively they're not coming back. They're all sort of trending towards coming back.
But there are some that just haven't.
Jumping in, the water's warm. It's great.
That's your message to the advertisers who haven't come back.
Yeah, I mean, look, if Disney feels comfortable advertising, children's movies, and Apple feels comfortable advertising iPhones, those are good indicators that Twitter is a good place to advertise.
I want to talk about if you have any regrets. And I think you were booed at a Dave Chappelle concert. I think your own lawyer said a little. Well, some say a little, some say a bit more. I think your own lawyer said you couldn't get a fair trial in San Francisco because there are lots of people that don't necessarily like you here.
Yeah, but I have to say I was wrong. He was wrong. I guess because I was acquitted by the San Francisco jury unanimously. So, yeah.
But I guess.
But look,
do you have any regrets buying Twitter?
I think it was something that needed to be done.
I mean, you said earlier
quite
that
difficult. You know, I'd say that the pain level of Twitter has been extremely high. This hasn't been some sort of party, so it's been really quite a stressful situation. You know, for the last several months, not an easy one. But apart from the pain, I mean, so it's been quite painful. But I think at the end of the day, it should have been done. I think were there many mistakes made along the way? Of course, you know, but you know, all's well that ends well, and so I feel like we're headed to a good place. You know, we're roughly break even. I think we're trending towards being cash flow positive very soon, like literally in a matter of months. The advertisers are returning. I think the quality of recommended tweets has improved significantly, and we've taken a lot of feedback from people that have looked at the open source recommendation algorithm, and we've made a lot of improvements even since that was made open source, and we're going to keep doing that. So overall, I think the trend is very good. So.
Well, let's unpack this further with our business reporter, Joao Da Silva, who joins us from our bureau in Singapore. Joao, it was an extraordinary conversation. You and I were both watching it live, you in our bureau in Singapore, me in the studio here in London. He had so much to say about so many things, but when it comes to Twitter itself and the business, he does sound confident. He is telling us all we'll be back in profit soon and advertisers will be back.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. But Elon Musk did sound very upbeat in that interview. He talked about daily usage being up and yes, the company finally breaking even now that, according to him, advertisers are back. He told James at one point how the situation was bleak when he first took over, accused the previous management of running it as a non-profit, saying that the company had only, in his own words, a few months to live. And he said that, like other internet companies, Twitter was facing a massive drop in revenue. All of that to justify, of course, those controversial mass layoffs that we saw at Twitter earlier this year. He admitted that the headcount has gone from 8,000 to 1,500 under his leadership. The thing is, many analysts are saying that medicine might actually be the poison that's hurting Twitter. Many people in the content moderation team have been fired, and advertisers fear that increases the likelihood that their products will appear next to toxic content on the platform. And we do know that major advertisers like Volkswagen, like General Motors did pause their relationship with Twitter earlier this year. So we'll have to really wait and see whether indeed Musk has reason to be optimistic about Twitter's future.
Okay, Joao, thank you very much. Joao Da Silva in Singapore. Just to say, online you can see and read more about that exclusive interview. You can listen and watch at your leisure as and wish. So that's BBC Online, but also the news app as well. So do take a look.